please find their seats, and our guests find a seat in the gallery. Welcome everyone to the recess meeting of January 19, 2017 of this county board. And I call the meeting to order. If everyone would please stand. County board member Jackie Chenier will be leading us with the pledge this morning, and then introduce the clergy.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'd like to introduce a very dear friend, lay community minister Charlotte Drugan. She's from the Universalist Unitarian Church of Joliet. She's spent the last 14 years taking the work of the church into the communities of Chicago, Joliet, and the Will County area. She's a retired third grade teacher with 44 years of service in the Valley View School District and a former chair of the Disaster Services for the American Red Cross of Will County, and was a facilitator of grief support groups for children when she taught. She is really committed to making the world a better place by establishing real justice, ensuring real tranquility, and making sure the blessings of liberty include everyone at the table. Thank you, Charlotte.
Please be seated.
Charlotte, wait. Got a malfunction.
Yeah. I have a loud teacher voice, so if everybody could just be seated.
Teacher voice.
Greetings from the Unitarian Universalist Church of Joliet, one of the oldest churches in Joliet. It was incorporated in 1836. Service is our prayer. So thank you, Jackie, for inviting me today. Our prayer is going to be a little bit different than usual. So get comfortable in your seats. Maybe close your eyes. And relax. I'm going to read a short statement, and then there's going to be a period of silence so that you can reflect on each statement. Spirit of life and love, divine mystery that is known by many names. We are here today to do the work of the people. When we enter this room, we are no longer Democrats or Republicans, but are the stewards of the community. Help us in the struggle to be our best selves, and remember to look at issues through the lens of the poor and the disenfranchised. Send us out into the streets so we know our sisters and brothers well. Imbue us with courage against the assaults of the greedy and the selfish, knowing we are following the command of all great prophets. And at the end of the day, let us rest easy, knowing we are answering the call for justice, liberty, and peace. I wish you blessings of love on your journeys. Amen, and blessed be. Hi, how are you? It's good to see you too. Hi, nice to meet you.
Warehouse Workers for Justice. Anyway, it's to say, it's your picture, you're gonna break the camera. I guess I used the microphone. Let's try to.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mayor,
Here.
Brooks,
Here.
Ogala, Summers,
Here.
Singer,
Here.
Moran,
Here.
Rice, Harris,
Here.
Trinier,
Here.
Benefield, Fritz,
Present.
Freitag, Gould,
Here.
Balich,
Here.
Frizzalone,
Here.
Winfrey, here. Parker, here. Staley Ferry, here. Dollinger, here. Markham,
Here.
Hart, Chumanello,
Here.
Weigel,
Here.
Ferry,
Here.
Pelez,
Here.
and Eustace.
Here.
Thank you.
Present, 4 absent.
22 present, 4 absent. We have a quorum. Entertain a motion to place on file certificate of publication, moved by Mr. Markham, seconded by Mr. Ferry. Madam Clerk, call the roll, please.
Sure. Mayor? Brooks?
Yes.
Summers?
Yes.
Singer?
Yes.
Moran?
Yes.
Rice? Harris?
Yes.
Trinier?
Yes.
Benefield?
Yes.
Fritz? Yes. Gould?
Yes.
Balich?
Yes.
Frizzalone?
Yes.
Winfrey?
Yes.
Parker?
Yes.
Staley Ferry?
Yes.
Dollinger?
Yes.
Markham?
Yes.
Tumanello?
Yes.
Weigel?
Yes.
Ferry?
Yes.
Calais?
Here.
And
Yes.
Eustace.
Okay.
Thank you.
22 affirmative.
22 affirmative, motion has carried. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of the Will County Board swearing in reorganization meeting of December 5th. Moved by Mr. Mayor, second by Mr. Singer. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Ferry, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried. The approval of minutes of the Will County Board recess meeting of December 15th, 2016. Entertain a motion. Ms. Summers makes a motion. Mr. Moran makes a second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Mr. Kumanel, previous roll call, second by Mr. Gould. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried. Madam Clerk, would you please acknowledge the elected officials and the media that is present this morning?
Sure. County Clerk Nancy Schultz Boots, our County Executive Larry Walsh, Recorder of Deeds Karen Stucco, our State's Attorney James Glasgow, and the media we have Farmers Weekly Review Nick Ryer, Southtown Susan Lafferty, Herald News Mike Mallory, and from the Times Weekly Brock Stein. Good morning.
Good morning. Next up is the honorary resolutions, proclamations. If Ms. Stollinger would please come forward to podium, and she has recognition, St. Joseph's Hospital magnet recognition to read. So let me see.
I have a loud voice too, so I can both stir it out. So I'd like to call down the representatives from President St. Joseph Medical Center to come on down to receive their recognition. We have today with us Jackie Medlin, Stephanie Willis, Jordan Jurek, Maria Nicoletto. Jordan and Maria are on the leadership, are nurses representing the leadership team, and then Katrina Crone. And I'm very honored to be able to give this recognition. St. Joe's was the first place I worked as a registered dietitian about 30 years ago, maybe a little less. So I'm very honored to be able to give this recognition, and I still am very involved with different activities there at the hospital, so congratulations. A proclamation recognizing President St. Joseph Medical Center as a magnet hospital for nursing excellence. Whereas the American Nursing Accreditation Center, ANCC, a subsidiary of the American Nursing Association, has developed a magnet recognition program for hospitals offering extraordinary, commendable nursing services. And whereas a healthcare facility that successfully demonstrates the ANCC's highest standards of nursing practice, research, quality outcomes is designated as a magnet hospital for nursing excellence. And whereas President St. Joseph Medical Center completed a rigorous process demanding widespread participation from leadership and staff, including an electronic application, written patient care documentation, and an on-site visit and review by a commission of magnet recognition. Whereas, after assessing the hospital's patient care services, the ANCC announced on November 15, 2016, that President St. Joseph Medical Center was being awarded magnet recognition as a reflection of its nursing professionalism, teamwork, and superiority in patient care. Whereas St. Joseph Medical Center is the first hospital in Will County meeting the gold standard for nursing care, joining an elite group consisting of 447 recipient hospitals nationally. Whereas consumers of President St. Joseph Medical Center health care services can anticipate a higher quality health care outcome offered at a magnet hospital. Whereas St. Joseph is continuing its 134-year commitment of providing compassionate, holistic care with a spirit of healing and hope by providing quality health care services to Will County and the surrounding communities. Now, therefore it be resolved that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive congratulate President St. Joseph Medical Center on receiving a Magnet Recognition Award for Nursing Excellence. Be it further resolved that the many nurses, physicians, professional staff, leadership, and associates of President St. Joseph Medical Center are congratulated and thanked for their high level of excellence and outstanding service to the Will County community. Dated this 19th day of January 2017. Signed, Lawrence M. Walsh, and attested, Nancy Schultz Boots. And I so move.
Moved by Ms. Dollinger, second by Ms. Summers. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
So
So I have a CNO voice, and I just, on behalf of the Medical Center, and more importantly, the nurses who serve tirelessly this wonderful community, I just wanted to thank you for this important acknowledgement of our work. And Jordan, I didn't know if you wanted to say anything else.
I'd like to reaffirm our commitment on behalf of the St. Joe's nurses that we are committed to serving our community.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you guys.
Thank
You
you.
guys want a picture?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Okay,
let's have a picture.
Get Larry in the middle.
All right. Want to get in front of the camera?
That's all we got.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So has he ever been surrounded by so many beautiful women? I don't think so.
Not like.
All right.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. God bless you. Good job, ladies. Maybe the nurses will prepare to go.
Ms. Rice, would you like to be yes on the motion? You weren't here for the roll call. Thank you. Next up is recognizing Will County School Choice Week, and proclamation be read into the record by Mr. Mayor from his desk.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. It's working.
Yep, you're on.
All right, good. I'd like to read into the record recognizing School Choice Week in Will County. Whereas all the children in Will County should have access to the highest quality education possible, and whereas Will County recognizes the important role that an effective education plays in preparing all students in Will County to be successful adults, and whereas the quality education is critically important to the economic vitality of Will County, and whereas Will County is home to a multitude of high-quality public and non-public schools from which parents can choose for their children, in addition to families who educate their children at home, and whereas educational variety not only helps to diversify our economy, but also enhances the vibrancy of our community, and whereas Will County has many high-quality teaching professionals in all types of school settings who are committed to educating our children, and whereas School Choice Week is celebrated across the country by millions of students, parents, and educators, schools, and organizations to raise awareness of the need for effective educational options. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Will County Board and the Will County Executive do thereby recognize January 22nd through 28th, 2017 as Will County Schools Choice Week, and call this observance to the attention of all our citizens. Dated the 19th day of January 2017, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Mayor, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Larry.
Moving on. All resolutions approved at the December 5, 2016 and the December 15, 2016 county board meetings have been signed by the county executive. Next up is a presentation, Michael Hennessy, United Way presentation to the full court county board. Michael, please come forward. Good morning. Good morning.
Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of our United Way of Will County and the 109 programs, the 46 partner organizations that serve the residents of Will County, I just want to thank the county board for your commitment and dedication and personal support and corporate financial support, as well as the employee support for the Will County employees this past year. It's exemplary. You certainly lead by example, and nearly $110,000 collectively was raised, and we're very grateful for your continued support. Now, it's interesting that on February 1st of this year, we're celebrating our 80th anniversary of serving the community. On February 1st, 1937, our United Way had its first campaign kickoff at the Rialto Square Theater. So in less than 2 weeks, we will be there at the Rialto Square Theater celebrating what we've accomplished and also looking at what we're moving forward to and helping the health and human service organizations that we're blessed to support and provide quality care to the residents in Will County. As we move forward, we are continuing to be challenged as more individuals from our county continue to reach out for help. As I mentioned, we're supporting 109 programs this past year, 46 local nonprofit organizations, and this week our applications for fiscal year 2018, and we're in July to June fiscal year, have now gone live on our website, and we've had training last week with many of our community partners. And we're also looking at a number of other organizations that are stepping forward to ask for support in the time of need. Now this year we did welcome some new programs. The Will County Children's Advocacy Program that you're very much aware of, the mental health trauma specialists, we increased our investment to help address the important services they provide, helping children and their families. We increased our investment to help with the Back to School program this past year. Over 3,000 families were helped, and over half the funding came from our United Way to help children get off to a good start with their program. And also we made an investment for, it's called the School Backpack Program that I'm sure some of you are familiar with, and many of you are familiar with. Unfortunately, we still have children who come to school Monday hungry. And we want to make sure when they leave Friday from school that they have proper food. And we partner with the Northern Illinois Food Bank to provide a school backpack program so children have food. Separate from that, working with the family to find out what is the challenges they're having and meeting the needs of their children through the weekend. And they're coming to school ready, and rolling up their sleeves, ready to begin their education work week. Also, we have a waiting list for Big Brothers and Big Sisters, probably about 80 children. And to make sure those children are still engaged in some organized activity, working with them, we funded what's called the Little Friends program. So this keeps them engaged in activities until they're able to be blessed to have a big brother and big sister. So obviously they're looking for more mentors to help our young people in their time of need. And I can go on in terms of some of the new things that we're addressing, and that's what we're doing. Our focus is on programs. It's always been that way, but the focus is on the program. And by the way, here is the organization that provides this service. Now later on today, when we leave home, we leave work, we are blessed to return to a home. There'll be guests in our Daybreak Homeless Center operated by Catholic Charities. And it's hard to believe over 30 years ago, we were involved in helping to create the Daybreak Center. Again, as mentioned, operated by Catholic Charities. The Child Care Resource and Referral Program. When our county did not have one over 25 years ago, our United Way was asked to step forward to help create that program, and we did. The Joint Alliance for Youth, bringing youth organizations from the greater Joliet area to help in an organized way to help one another. And there's other opportunities where our United Way has been engaged and to help. Back in 1990, you know how we established, working in partnership with the county, the Will County Emergency Management Agency, our disaster relief services to help people who were affected by the Plainfield, Crest Hill, and Joliet tornado. And through of course, our lead responders, the American Red Cross, Salvation Army, Catholic Charities, our funding has been there and continues to help individuals in their time of need. And most recently, with the house explosion that took place in Homer Glen, our disaster relief fund was there for people to contribute to help the family and families that were affected. That is there, so they can have that fund, and all those dollars go to help benefit individuals in their time of need. So we're there as a community partner. We can't do it without your continued support. We're very blessed to have so many volunteers and other individuals involved and engaged in giving their time, their treasure and their time, many different engagement opportunities. In fact, one of the things we invested in this year is working with Catholic Charities and Northern Illinois Food Bank to have 21 mobile pantries. 3 of them did take place. We were down in Peatone just before Thanksgiving. We had 2 in Joliet in mid-December, very cold out there, helping hundreds of families who came through and volunteers. And I'll be reaching out to our friends with the county board and the county employees to see if they're willing to help us provide that volunteer support in helping individuals in their time of need. So we encourage you to continue to spread the word. I know many of you work for companies already involved. Some of you are personally contributing through the county's employee campaign. We'll be following up with many of the departments to ask employees some new. We've lost a lot of contributors due to retirements, which is a good thing, but then also trying to get the retirees and reaching out to them, because if we don't ask, they're not going to give. And then trying to get some of our younger workers engaged through various volunteer activities so they can see firsthand where their dollars are going and the individuals and organizations that benefit from their support. So on behalf of, again, our 109 programs that we support, our 46 partner agencies, thank you for the good that you do every day. We're very blessed to have a wonderful county government, county employees, county leadership who help enhance the quality of life. We're proud to be part of that, enhancing the quality of life. And I just want to end with a quote I've read years ago. I'm not sure where I read it, but for me it's always put giving in its proper perspective for me. And it goes like this. What? Giving again? I ask in dismay. And must I keep giving and giving away? Oh no, said the angel, looking me through. Just keep giving until our master stops giving to you. Thank you again for all the good that you do.
Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.
Mr. Executive, I just have a comment if I can ask Mike.
Yeah.
Could you write that down for me? I need it for Sunday. Thank you, Mike.
You got
Put
it.
it in bold print for me. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Everybody have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, next up, Land Use and Development Committee, Mr. Weigel, Chairman.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We don't have any items of business today. Our next meeting is February 14th. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Finance Committee, Mr. Frizzalone, Chairman.
Good morning, Will County.
Good morning, Michael.
So first we have some reports to put on file. We have a report from the Illinois Department of Revenue showing sales tax remitted to Will County for the month of October 2016 to be $1,609,152.04. The RTA tax received was $1,942,447.71 for a total of $3,551,599.75. We also have the monthly treasury report ending November 30th, the quarterly report ending 11/30, and the semi-annual report ending 11/30, all 2016, as well as the annual report ending 11/30, all from our county treasurer. And I'd like to move to put all of those on file.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Summers. Any questions? Any questions? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
The first resolution I have is 17-2, appropriating grant funds in the sheriff's budget from the Department of Homeland Security Court Security Grant Program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Mr. Mayor. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Balich. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next is 17-3, increasing appropriations in the sheriff's budget for the SCAP grant, and I so move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Dollinger. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll moved by Mr. Harris, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
17-4, designating Amalgamated Bank of Chicago as a county depository, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Mr. Gould. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Ferry, second by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
And 17-5, authorize the county executive to execute necessary documents for a delinquent tax program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Frizzalone, second by Ms. Trenier. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll call by Mr. Tumanello, second by Mr. Balich. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Our next Finance Committee meeting will be February 7th at 10 a.m. That's 6 days before the opening of training camp in Mesa. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. Next committee, Public Works and Transportation, Mr. Gould, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive, and
Morning,
good
Don.
morning, fellow board members. First, I have Resolution 17-6, confirming award of contract to contractors led on December 21st, 2016. Countywide maintenance material by Tumas Patching, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Tumanello. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Benefield, second by Ms. Fritz. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-7, confirming award of contract to P.T. Farrell Construction, led on December 21st, 2016, for countywide maintenance materials by Tumas Prime, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Moran, second by Mr. Brooks. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-8, confirming an award of contract to various contractors led on December 21st, 2016, countywide maintenance material, various aggregate, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Mr. Ferry. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Summers, seconded by Mr. Markham. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-9, confirming an award of contract to Hall Signs, led on December 21st, 2016, countywide maintenance materials, sign materials, all county board districts. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Mr. Tumanello. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Ballage, seconded by Ms. Dollinger. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-10, confirming an award of contract to Hall Signs, led on December 21st, 2016, countywide maintenance materials, sheet aluminum sign panels, type 1, all county board districts. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Ms. Parker. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, seconded by Mr. Harris. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-11, confirming an award of contract to Hall Signs, led on December 21st, 2016, countywide maintenance material, telescopic metal posts, all county board districts. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Mr. Frislow. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Parker, seconded by Mr. Trainier. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
And Resolution 17-12, a resolution for improvement by the county under the Illinois Highway Code for countywide maintenance material, all county board districts using MFT funds. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Ms. Fritz. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Summers, seconded by Ms. Rice. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Resolution 17-13, granting ingress and egress for a proposed auto service facility at Laraway Road in County Board District 12. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Ms. Parker. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Ferry, seconded by Mr. Moran. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion is carried.
Resolution 17-14, authorizing an amendment to an agreement between the County of Will and Seif Breed Industrial Properties for phased development site access at the southwest corner of Manhattan O'Neill Road and Richland Avenue, previously approved in Resolution 16-166 on June 16, 2016, in County Board District 1. Move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, seconded by Ms. Summers. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, seconded by Ms. Trainier. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
Our next meeting is February 7th at 9 o'clock. That concludes my
Thank you
report.
very much, John. Next up, Judicial Committee, Mr. Benefield, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive.
Good morning, Darren.
We have nothing to report from the Judicial Committee this month. Our next meeting will be scheduled on February 7th at 9 a.m. Thanks for your time. Hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Thank you. Next up, the Public Health and Safety Committee, Vice Chairman, Mr. Gould.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. Only one item today for public health. This is the option for the second year of a 2-year contract for Resolution 17-15, renewing a contract for pharmaceutical and consulting services at Sunny Hill Nursing Home. I move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Ms. Summers, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
And the next meeting of Public Health and Safety is February 2nd at 9 o'clock. And that's all Mrs. O'Donnell had.
Thank you very much, John. Next up is Legislative and Policy Committee. Vice Chairman, Mr. Tuminello, bringing the committee to us this morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Good morning, Raymond.
I have 2 resolutions before us today. First is 17-16, supporting the remote air traffic control tower pilot program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Tuminello, second by Mr. Ballage. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Dollinger, seconded by Ms. Rice. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next thing on the agenda is 17-17, supporting the continued funding of Essential Air Service and the Small Community Air Service Development Program, and I so move.
Moved by Mr. Tuminello, second by Mr. Mayor. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Our next Legislative and Policy Committee is scheduled for February 14th, and that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Brendan. Next up, Capital Improvements Committee, brought to Vice Chairman Mike Frizzalone. Mr. Frizzalone.
Capital Improvement Committee has nothing to report this month, and our next meeting will be February 7th at 11 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Next up, Executive Committee, Mr. Mustis, Chairman.
Good morning, Mr. Executive.
Good morning, Jim.
County Board. First item today is to place on file the Will County CED Annual Report, also moved.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Mayor. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next, we have 1718, creating a selection committee for the architect, building engineer for the health department facility, and also moved.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any discussion? Any discussion? In previous roll by Ms. Summers, second by Ms. Barker. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
We have 1719, IGA to
Whoa, Mr. Singer?
I said, Nancy, please show me his note.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Please, Mr. Mustis,
1719, IGA to establish Railway Communication Center. This has been reviewed by our state's attorney's office, and I move to approve.
moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Winfrey. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Mr. Ballage. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Contrary, motion has carried.
So
Mr. Singer, would you be a yes?
Thank you.
Thank you.
1720, setting the number of court security officers under the authority of the Will County Sheriff. I will move to approve.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Summers. Any discussion? Discussion, Mr. Gross.
Mr. Executive, in our caucus this morning, a question was raised about the 3 officers in the resolution. We just really didn't quite understand. However, Jerry Nadura did a very good job explaining it to me in the hall. But I wanted to ask if it's all right if Jerry just can comment on what he told me in the hall for the benefit of our caucus.
Before Jerry comes down, maybe just let me briefly.
Okay.
The Will County Board sets the number of sworn personnel, security personnel for the Sheriff's Department. In the case of security officers, because we use primarily part-time retired officers for those jobs. We use a full-time equivalency number. We have, and it's a lot less expensive for the taxpayers to pay security officers versus deputies. We have asked the sheriff's department to increase some security, like in this building as an example. So we're really just reflecting that and giving them additional personnel to cover the security segment of the sheriff's operation versus using deputies. So I don't know if that is a good.
David, did you want to comment? Or
No,
that?
unless you suffice.
That's the vice president.
Would you say that any differently, Jerry?
Come on down, Jerry.
Good to see you.
About the replacement there. The place, oh, the place, not replacement. Yeah, but they're not new hires. Right.
Where are they placed?
No.
Okay. We established 13.5 full-time equivalents for court security officers. That's all based on hours. Our court security officers are based on hours, not on bodies. So 13.5 is roughly 28,080 hours. Since that number was established, we've taken on additional responsibilities. We have the deputy in the building here. We have an additional deputy that works half a day over at the courthouse. We have deputies over at the Eagle building, and we have court security officers at RBJ. So we've increased the amount of hours. So we're actually over that 28,000 hours. So what we're asking you to increase it to 17 full-time equivalents, which is about 35,000 some odd hours. And that will cover us in case we have to add additional responsibilities in the future. I won't have to come back to you every month and say, hey, can I have another few hours here or there? So that's why we're looking to increase it.
Okay.
Any questions for Jerry?
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jerry, and thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Jerry. Number move 7. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Ms. Winfrey. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, we have 1721, authorizing the executive to execute a professional service contract with Smith, Lawson, Andrews. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Lauren Perry. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Ms. Winfrey, second by Ms. Parker. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion is carried.
Next, we have 1722, authorizing bid for a rural historic structural consultant. I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Ms. Summers. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Ms. Dollinger, second by Mr. Balish. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, 1723, renewing contract for electronic recycling, permanent drop off, and 1 day events, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Moran. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Tumanello, second by Mr. Benefield. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Next, we have 1724, authorizing the county executive to execute an intergovernmental delegation agreement with the IEPA, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Mayor. Any questions? Any questions? Previous roll by Mr. Markham, second by Mr. Moran. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
The executive committee's next meeting will be February 2nd at 10 a.m. Next, I have the appointments of the county executive, and I'll move for approval.
Moved by Mr. Mustis, second by Mr. Brooks. Any discussion? Any discussion? Previous roll by Mr. Gould, second by Ms. Dollinger. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Contrary, motion has carried.
Mr. Executive, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mustis. Next up is public comment. Anyone from the public wishes to speak before the board? Anyone from the public wish to speak before the board? Comments by county board members. How many county board members want to speak? Mr. Gould.
It's sort of a somber thing. We lost one of our colleagues in the legal community, Mr. Steve Lespertek, who was actually a board member here, I think, in the 60s and 70s. So if you can remember him and his family in your prayers. And whenever I have a legal matter with Steve, he'd always say, Don, you're doing your community service. Because he would say how he did his community service back in the day when they built the courthouse and all that. So I just thought we should remember him today.
Excellent point, Don. Thank you. Any other county board member wish to speak? Announcements by the majority leader, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. This week we inaugurate a new president of the United States. There's a lot of uncertainty in this country by where that is leading us. But having been through 2 different administrations while being on this county board, I feel very strong that the board members that we have here are going to be representing the citizens of Will County and keeping the quality of life where it needs to be. And not just in keeping it where it is, but making sure that we improve it. I want to congratulate the United Way on their 80 years of work here in this county. This idea with the Big Brothers, Big Sisters, Feeding the Hungry. I know both my dad and one of my daughters have been a Big Brother, Big Sister, and they've gotten a lot out of it. So if you've not had an opportunity to do something like that, I highly recommend it. It is a great thing working with our kids. And being in the field of education for over 30 years myself, working with children, our education systems, as we recognize school choice. School choice is not about getting rid of public education. It's about making sure that there's a match between the students' needs and the educational systems available to them. And I really can't emphasize that enough, because not every school is for every child. And it really takes where we've seen the most success in schools are those schools where parents are involved. And so, again, recommending that our parents make sure that you are involved in your child's education on a daily basis, because that's where the success of your children will be, is when we're involved with that. And then also congratulations to St. Joseph Hospital. Health, education, those are really the focal points of what I think government is about. And making sure that we have a health and safety of our citizens. And so it's nice to have programs like St. Joseph not only recognized, but we get recognized because we have good quality service down here. So with that, I want to thank everybody for all their hard work on both the Democrat caucus and the Republican caucus side, and wish everybody a wonderful weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Next up is our minority leader, Mr. Brooks.
Thank you, Mr. Executive. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And it is still morning. I wasn't trying to stretch the meeting out to go to noon, but it's still morning. My comment this morning is a personal note. First of all, Mr. Gould, I'm glad you mentioned Attorney Steve, because over 25 years ago, my church retained him as our attorney, and we certainly do miss him. But also on a personal note, I want to thank this county board, and many of you in this room. A week ago, my baby sister, Patricia, passed away in Stockton, California. She was 56 years old, and her request has come back to be buried in Joliet, where I had my oldest sister passed away 4 years ago. And I'm in the process of making those arrangements now. It'll be Saturday the 28th. However, up until this point, Mr. Executive, I received so many phone calls, so many wonderful, kind words, in-kind gifts, and this board has really been very kind to me. So once again, I just want to personally say thank you to all of you for all your kind words, all your kind cards, and everything that you've done at the time of my family's bereavement. Thank you so much, and God bless you all. Have a good weekend. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor. Next up, our county board speaker, Mr. Mister.
I've
been a man of many words all month. I'm going to be very short. Thanks, everyone. Have a great day.
Historic. Thank you, Mr. Newsom.
Mark it on the calendar, Larry.
No executive session?
No.
Okay. And with that, then this board will stand at recess till our next regular county board meeting of Thursday, February 16th, 2017.